What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Footy with an Edge. We're back for another 2 p.m. stream. I'm loving this new timing, guys, because it gives me a little bit more time to kick the day off and also plan all the 3 calls that I'm trying to do every day now. And I have some thoughts on the. Hold on, I can hear myself. Okay, there we go. We should be good. How's everyone doing, man? It is a Monday. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. And my desk is too high. There we go. It's a lot better. I was like, why am I like sinking in my chair? Let me see. What do you guys got to say? Okay, there's nobody in the chat yet. But how's everyone doing, man? Hopefully you guys are well. Let me just get the StreamYard link in the chat as well. And I'm going to pin that. Bang, bang. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. And I'm also going to adjust my volume a little bit because it's a little too high. There we go. It's a little better. Be cool. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're well, man. Nice to see you again. Marcus, yes, the lovely weather. It's so nice. What can I say? It's yeah, not the weather I grew up with in India, so I'm gonna say I'm biting my tongue. Cybernetics 800 says, well, Andy. Bat says, hi, Andy. Hi, Marcus from Be Cool. Big warm up for the transfer window opening in 3 days. Yes, it is. So right now we're gonna talk about all the players we might potentially sell, and then we're going to do a members only video at 5 p.m. today where we're going to discuss 5 left back options. And I have a special 6th option for you guys to look at as well. So if you guys are members of the channel, a special treat for you at 5 p.m. today. Isaac Jalal says, hello. Jackper says, gotta sell Zirkzee. His head is gone. So the little he could already offer us has already withered away. Yeah, that's all fair. And I see Ed is in the background waiting. Ed, I'm just going to get through my agenda items and I'll bring you on, okay? Right away. Tabi Samfana says, off topic, but we need to talk about Goldbridge. He's pissing me off. It's clear from his recent tweets and streams that he's now 100% anti-Amram. Tabi, I'll be honest with you. I don't want to be known as the guy who's calling people out because that's not really content. Right, in my opinion, like the best example of that is like CoffeeZilla maybe on YouTube, who's like made a career out of calling people out. But it's kind of like journalism / calling people out, and I appreciate what CoffeeZilla does, but I'm not that guy, right? Sometimes when they make certain takes, I can probably say this is going too far, but Goldbridge is doing what he thinks is right, and all I can do, like, I don't watch Goldbridge anymore. I used to watch him. I probably only watch the show he does with Robbie, like sometimes in the background. So that's all I can do, to be honest. Yeah. But I appreciate your super chat, Tabi. I realize people are pissing him off, and honestly, if you look at it, in terms of his heyday of like how many views he used to get and stuff, it's hard, right? When you're negative about something, I think in general, the views tend to drop off. Even when I make a video focused on something negative, I get less views. So I think YouTube algorithm is taking care of Goldbridge in that way. You're not alone in being pissed off. And I think, yeah, maybe just, focus on the content that we're making here. Anyway, so we got agenda items to get through here. The first one is Joshua Zirkzee, right? So the question is, should we sell Joshua Zirkzee because we don't have any squad depth, right? And selling Zirkzee doesn't necessarily mean we get a backup striker, because what happens when Šeško gets injured, or he has to be rested for a game, or he has to be taken off early? We don't really have anybody that can come in for Šeško, and Zirkzee's the only guy. And Zirkzee had a very poor showing against Newcastle. I was very upset with him. I think he's had limited minutes and an unclear role under Amram. He probably doesn't fit the profile or the system very well. there is very strong interest from Roma. Ed, I have not seen the training video. If someone wants to send me the training video on Discord, I'll take a look. Ed says he doesn't even play at 50%. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Be Cool says first buy, then sell. I agree with that. I think the only scenario where I see selling Zirkzee as a good idea is that we get to strengthen some other part of the team because we let him go. The problem we have right now is that he's just a body that comes in when we don't have anybody else. So even him staying doesn't give us a lot of use. So that's the argument for selling him. The argument for keeping him is that we have no depth. So if we can strengthen our midfield depth by letting Zirkzee go, I'm okay with that. If we can strengthen our starting center back quality by letting Zirkzee go, I'm okay with that. Same thing for the left wing back or right wing back. So if we can get a really good player that is higher than Zirkzee, much higher than Zirkzee in the pecking order of the first 15, first 16 players, then I'm okay with letting him go. Cybernetic says, I can forgive players having a bad game, but lack of effort like Zirkzee shows week in, week out, and I can't. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, hi, Semix. I didn't see you there. Nice to see Semix joining us as well. And we got 40 people live, guys. Let me just get, please smash a like on the stream. It really helps us out. Yeah, please smash that like button, guys. It really helps us stand out in for the YouTube gods, the YouTube algorithm. And where were we? So with Zirkzee, if we do a loan with obligation to buy, and they have some stupid clause that they can just pay us 5 million and get out of it, I'm not sure I'm too happy with that. If we keep him and reassess in the summer, based on the form he's shown us, I'm not sure I'm happy with that either. So the big picture question is, how useful is he if we keep him, and how much of an impact does it have on our team if we sell him? And it's a really difficult one to answer. And for me, like I said, if we can get a player like Joshua Zirkzee is probably 16th, 15th, 16th, 17th, something in terms of the squad order. If everybody's fit, he's not even the first player off the bench, as we've seen when we started the season. So do we just sell this guy? If we sell this guy, can we get like a player that is maybe 8th on the team sheet, 12th on the team sheet, something like that? Because a significant difference, like getting rid of Zirkzee, he's not even really a squad player right now. Can we get rid of him and get a squad player who gets meaningful minutes? I don't care about really the position. I think that's the dilemma that I'm working with. And so for me, Joshua Zirkzee is an important conversation to have. The next conversation is the one that we're all bored with, and we have the special image of Kobbie Mainoo with the baby thing. I never remember what that thing is called. But we have Ed says Rashi's coming back. Yeah, like at the end of the season, right? I hear you. Kerwin says, yo, Kerwin, how you doing, man? Yeah, so with Kobbie Mainoo, it's a big decision, and we're all bored of talking about it. But we have to have the conversation because he's probably going to be sold either now or in the summer. It makes more sense that he goes on a loan with an obligation or loan with an option, because maybe teams don't really want to pay for him. Maybe we can coax Chelsea into making a big offer, right? In my opinion, we shouldn't be accepting anything less than 60 million. And I know that sounds like a very low number for a player that was probably looking like a 100 million player a few seasons ago. But realistically, guys, he's not playing for us. He seems a little injury prone. And with our track record of selling players, like with Garnacho, we only got 40. The situation isn't as bad as Garnacho, for sure. Like Garnacho was a total tool. but the clubs outside know that we're looking to get money for Kobbie. So I'm guessing this is a move that's going to be pushed out. Now, I don't know if there's been some sort of melding of the minds that Salah had with Liverpool, right, where they just came together and they said, you know what, let's move on from these issues that we're having. So let's just talk about what Kobbie's role looks like in this team, so that he can potentially get into the England squad. And I respect his wish to want to do that. But again, you need to first get into this squad, right? So if we're gonna play 4-2-3-1 for more of the season, can Kobbie be better than Ugarte in that position? Probably, maybe. Because I see Ugarte as a really good player in that position. What he gives us in terms of the hustle, in terms of the defensive work rate, I actually think he's better than Kobbie even in that double pivot. Now I know folks like Nelson might disagree, and that's totally fair. They're different types of players, right? So I'm more looking for the defensive solidity without having the not the defensive solidity, the defensive hustle, the covering the ground that is important, and that Ugarte gives us. So I don't really know if there's much sense in keeping a hold of Kobbie if we can get good money for him in January. But again, it's dependent on us reinvesting that in the squad, because if we think Zirkzee is a problem to let go, Kobbie is a much bigger problem if we sell him and we don't replace him. And what did Semi say? Hold on. No one's going to give us 60 million for Kobbie, which is why we won't sell, in my opinion. He might be loaned out so he can prove he's worth it. That's fair. That's fair. You wouldn't pay 60 is what I should have said. Yeah, I think that's fair. If I'm a fan of another club, I'm looking at Kobbie Mainoo and saying, what am I paying 60 million for? Right? He's already dealing with the pressure at United and seems like he can't get into a team ahead of Casemiro and Bruno in a two-man midfield. And when it's time to play a four at the back, he's got himself injured. So what is the guarantee that somebody like this is actually going to be good, right? So that's a fair point. If someone's making a realistic decision, but there are people who make suboptimal decisions in the transfer market. Side Promote says Kobbie on loan or keep him, likely gets minutes going forward. Yeah, I think that's the question, right? So I think Kobbie only is okay to be let go. Tabi Samfana says, according to Luckhurst, Amram went berserk on Zirkzee for not pressing. I don't trust Luckhurst in general, but doubt he'd outright lie over touchline behavior in a game he watched Zirkzee out. Yeah, I agree with you, Tabi. I think, like we all saw on the touchline, Ruben Amram was going crazy on Joshua Zirkzee. And I agree with you. Like the lack of an attitude is not acceptable at all. Sean says, I saw this live during the game. Ayush says 60 million for freeing a future footballing god. Yeah, I agree. But listen, if you listen to Paul Scholes, according to Paul Scholes, like Kobbie should cost 100 million, right? Free Kobbie Mainoo, according to him. So Marcus says alone would see if he's a good footballer outside the system. Yeah, I think. Listen, loan him, sell him. I don't think it makes sense if we don't get two players in the door if Kobbie leaves, right? And what Tabi said, I completely agree with. Like Zirkzee has to go, and that was shameful, right? Shameful from him, and upsetting for me because I had Zirkzee's back. Like I was backing him to do well and kind of celebrated when he had that performance against Crystal Palace. But, you know, what are you going to do? I think one player coming in for Zirkzee is fair, but if Kobbie leaves, we need two players to come in. Not that he's giving us two players worth of impact right now. It's just we can't have three midfielders. Be Cool says 100 million reals or Meti case. I don't know. I think you mean reals or reais. What is that, a currency that I've never heard of? Okay, Brazilian real. Okay, got it. And Meti case. Mozambican Metical? Bro, some rogue shouts on currency there. Be cool. You got to give me like rupees or something, bro. It's much more common. Or third option, keep him. Amram is changing his tactics to fit more players. He's being more flexible and adjusting to his player strengths after they understand his basics. Yeah, that's a good point, Sean. But again, is he actually going to be better than Ugarte on that left pivot in the 4-2-3-1? Because what I saw Ugarte doing well is hounding players on the ball and winning tackles from behind them. Like, I don't think Kobbie can really do that. But Kobbie does give us a little bit better attacking wise. So I do want to see Kobbie in this system before we sell him for sure. Ugarte can't pass. Yeah, short passing he can do well. Kobbie can also do the short passing well. Ugarte isn't as good on the ball. He's not as press resistant. I think that's the big problem. Guys, okay, so Kobbie question is done. It's it's been talked about a lot. Let's move on to the next talking point, which is Tyrell Malacia. Now, we don't have to spend too much time on him, but I was shocked. I was like, damn, this guy's still here? How is this guy survived like 4 years in this team? And that Tyrell Malacia is the crux of the transfer problem that United have had for all of these years, because he's had a crazy injury history and he's given us less than any manager has given us, but still the average player tends to survive 4 years on a contract at United, and the average manager doesn't even make it to 3. So if we're comparing impact of Ollie, impact of Mourinho, impact of Van Gaal, even David Moyes, and comparing it to someone like a Malacia, comparing it to someone like a Bailly, who was here for like 7-8 years, comparing it to Lindelof, again, 7-8 years, Harry Maguire approaching 7-8 years, we're just bad at getting rid of players that are useless to us. And maybe this is a really good point to make with Joshua Zirkzee, because Joshua Zirkzee, as good as his talents are, as good as he has looked in certain games, he seems like fairly useless in terms of most of the managers that have come in. They've struggled to really get much use out of him. So just get rid, right? Like, let's not have Zirkzee be another Malacia situation where we just pay his wages for so long and not get any use out of him. And same thing with Malacia, like, get rid of him in January, 5 million, someone wants to pay it. He could be a decent lower mid-table Premier League fullback. Somebody that wants him for 5-10 million, just get rid of him. M. Just says, respect for him not making any noises. Yeah, that's probably fair enough, but again, like, that's the bare minimum, isn't it? So we should let's just sell him. Is my point. And we got 93 people watching, guys. Please smash that like button. Really helps us out. So let's move on from Malacia, because he's not giving us enough to talk about anyways. The last one is Manuel Ugarte. I think before the game against Newcastle, everyone would have said sell him. Now I'm sitting here thinking, can he actually give us something till the end of the season, especially in this 4-2-3-1? I think the answer might be yes. I think the hierarchy has had a discussion, and they've said, as good as the 3-4-3 is in the long term, I think not just changing the formation. So I need to clarify this. I think changing the system a little bit to be a bit more defensively sound compared to trying to play the total football 3-4-3 is going to give us the best chance of getting into the top 4. And I think from that perspective, Ugarte is a useful tool till the end of the season. And that's why I wouldn't be looking to sell Ugarte. And that's my 2 cents on it. You know, he's good in his duels, he's good at ball winning, he's good at defensive volume. Progression is an issue with him. Tempo control is an issue with him. And he doesn't work in a 2-man midfield. I guess he has some of the same problems that Kobbie Mainoo does. Doesn't work in a 2-man midfield. You could argue Bruno and Casemiro don't work in a 2-man midfield, but compared to the 4 players that we have, those are our 2 best options. So if we are playing this 4-2-3-1 or a slight change to the Amram, the ideal Amram system, then I think keeping Ugarte makes sense. And actually, to the same point, keeping Kobbie Mainoo makes sense. Because let's be honest, we're not going to get 2 players in January. So it's much better for us to say, you know what, we'll sell you in the summer. You give us your best till the end of the season. Cut out all these shenanigans with your brother wearing a t-shirt and all that. In fact, let's ban your brother from coming to the stadium. And let's ban him from all stadiums in Greater Manchester because he just looks like an idiot. And we get the best out of Mainoo and Ugarte till the end of the summer. And hopefully we can get a combined 90 million, 100 million for the two of them and go reinvest that into like really good quality midfielders that we're looking for. So that's it, guys. Those are the main talking points. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think we've been very fair across all 4 players. And in my opinion, probably the 2 Dutchmen on this list in Zirkzee and Malacia can probably be sold. And that's my point. I think the 2 midfielders, we have to keep them unless there's a crazy offer that comes in and we can go find somebody else that also works for us. Cool. Let's open the lines. Let's go to the fan forum. We've got Ed waiting here. Ed, how you doing, brother?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good, man. Where are you based out of?
Arizona.
Phoenix?
No, Fountain Hills.
Is that close to Phoenix? I don't know
It's
much about Arizona.
It's like an hour northeast of Phoenix.
Okay, awesome. Cool, man. What's on your mind?
I think I'm not the biggest Kobbie fan. Okay. There is quality there though, and I think we're in a place like because Amram said he's the future of United, did he not? In a presser?
I don't know how much stock I would put in stuff he's saying because I think he's trying to avoid another Garnacho situation, is my opinion on it.
I think we need to wait to see what happens when he's not injured. And give him
in the 4-2-3-1
in any of the systems.
Yeah.
I think you leave it in his hands to prove if he's gonna play, and if he does want to get a move, he's gonna have to play well. If he wants to go somewhere where they are gonna want him, right? So I think we can't jump the gun on the Kobbie yet. I think that would be a really bad move financially and team-wise. So I think you wait till he comes back from injury, see how he does. Because I think even in my head, I'm a big I made a couple mistakes when I look at Kobbie. I try to compare him to Bruno, but we can't do that. He's not Bruno. He never will be Bruno, but he could be Kobbie. He could be very, very good for us, and I think we need to give him the time. With Ugarte, same thing. Let him play right now. We have no other option. That's why Malacia played. We have no options. And I think in tomorrow's game, we're going to see how big of an importance a midfielder like, because Mount is not playing tomorrow.
Do we know? Is this confirmed?
Shant told me, so I kind of trust what he tells me.
Mistake number 1. Yeah, Mason Mount is out, is what some of the.
So not a mistake. Got it.
No, hold on. No, I said trusting Shant was the mistake, not that he was wrong on this one.
So it's not a mistake then, if he's right.
Well, I don't know. This is like manunews.com, so I don't know if there's an official source that's.
So let's just say he doesn't play tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. In the case that he doesn't.
Yeah. It's going to be a very, very tough game because we don't have a ball progressor. And that's where we're going to see why Ugarte cannot be a mainstay, right? Like he can't play that role unless he proves us wrong. Maybe he develops some passing skills overnight. Maybe that's what he
well, so what Mount gives us is let's go back to Sean since we're both quoting Sean. Sean made a good point about Mount being the connector, right? And it's not really the some volume passing that Mount is giving us. He's the guy who just links up the defense, midfield, and midfield to attack really well by dropping into specific pockets, and that Ugarte can't do. So Correct. The question is, who plays Mount's role necessarily?
You have one guy in the team right now that could play that role, and that's Cunha. But then who plays where Cunha plays? So we're so limited, and I think you have to keep both of these guys till the summer, let them play, let them get some value of some sort to some team, right? Because we also got to remember Kobbie is English. You know, there is an English tax that people are going to have to pay, especially if we sell within the league. But Joshua Zirkzee just can't play. I'd rather give those minutes to Cheeto because I think they're. Joshua is better than Cheeto, but I think Cheeto is going to give us more energy, more fight, more everything, and I'd rather give him those minutes than give them to Joshua.
Yeah, you're saying invest in his development rather than do
Correct.
nothing with Zirkzee. Yeah.
Exactly, because if Zirkzee's just going to come in and flop around like a fish, there's no point in putting him in at all. He's wasting his own value. He's doing whatever he wants to do. Even in that training video, they were doing like finishing drills, right? And you can tell he's just like laboring around. Like he doesn't care, no smile on his face. He's not talking to anybody. He's already checked out. It needs to be in January, the only player you should sell is Joshua Zirkzee.
What about Malacia?
Nobody's gonna buy him.
What do you mean? We could get like a 5 mil or something for him. Like he can still play for like a lower mid table Premier League club or go play in the French league or something. He's worth
Brother,
something.
He's gonna
He's
go
worth
to a
change.
medical and he's gonna fail every medical he goes to.
I don't know. There's going to be some value, or we just release him from the contract because I'm sure we're paying him wages that are not zero, right?
But you can't afford to release him from the contract with all these injuries.
Yeah, maybe. But I would say the same thing about Joshua Zirkzee, no? Because even Cheeto, somebody said in the chat, Cheeto's not even playing for the under 21s.
Joshua Zirkzee wouldn't even play for the under 21s at this point.
He would play. He would play for the under 21s.
He would not play.
It's not.
He'd
No,
walk around. There's a difference
fair
between
enough.
playing and walking around. He'd get selected, but he wouldn't play.
Yeah. I'm just saying he's what's it called? His effort is not there, but I'm just saying the under 21s are he's playing against kids, right? I'm looking at it right here. Who else can play in that 10 behind Sheshko? Do you think if we played Cunha in the 10 and played Lacey in the team and played Dorgu off the left, you think that would work?
I think that would work. But then again, you're taking away Dorgu's best performance he showed at that spot on the right-hand side from last game.
Maybe Lacey goes off the left and he's just doing a job there, right? Where we're telling him like, listen, this is your opportunity to get into the team. I mean, I think Lacey's like, put me in goal, I'll play, right?
Yeah, I think so
as
too.
a young kid. So you put him off the left and you keep Dorgu on the right. Plus, I think Wolves' attacking threats, like I covered in the preview yesterday, they come down the left-hand side more than they do on the right. So having the Dorgu Dallo combination to give us the defensive work on the right-hand side will be useful in my opinion.
And I'm not sure about this Nightwing guy. I haven't heard him have a single good take since I've been watching your channel. So I think it's time for a ban hammer on this guy.
Not sure about this Shuffling Merchant. His sources definitely Shant has the same views on Zirkzee. Yeah, I mean, I think with Zirkzee, the issue I have Nightwing is that he just he helped us get 3 points against Palace. I agree, but just because you did one good thing doesn't take away from one really bad thing that you did, right? That's the thing that people are reacting to. And I agree in that sense that it's unforgivable, like not just putting in the basic effort. Plus, we have to realize, like in the second half, if Newcastle had like a single iota of finishing in them, we probably lose that 3-1. Right. And Zirkzee could have been a big part of that because every time the ball went out to him, he was just like walking around, essentially. It's clear that he just basically gave up.
We're not talking about his quality. We're talking about his effort.
Yeah.
For the team. Nobody's saying Zirkzee's a bad player.
Yeah. I agree. Hold on. Am I getting a call here? No. Okay. So in terms of purchases, if we let Zirkzee go, who do you think is gonna come in?
I don't think they're signing any attacking players, in my opinion.
So we sell Zirkzee and nothing. What about a midfielder?
It's probably going to be Baleba from the looks of it, because I don't think Elliot Anderson is going to come in January. So it's probably going to be just.
You think
Baleba.
we go for Baleba in January?
Yeah. I think Brighton are over him now, given his last like 5 games. That's just my opinion. I don't know exactly, but Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch Kone perform here in about 15 minutes. I'm gonna watch the Roma game to see how he goes.
Oh yeah, is he playing today? Let me see.
Yeah, he is.
Roma versus Genoa. What
Mhm.
is Genoa's position on the table? They're 17th. Okay, so this is against a shit team.
Still a tough team though. All those teams play really hard.
Yeah. Roma are 5th in Serie A. Okay, cool. We'll see, man. Ed, appreciate you, brother. I'll get some of the other callers in here, and we'll see what they have to say. And
Okay,
if you want to
sounds
come
good.
back for the panel, we can have a discussion again.
Yes. Thank
All
you.
right, see ya. Brian, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Go on. Give us your thoughts on the players we discussed about today. Who we should sell, why we should sell them.
I think we sell Ugarte. I know he had a decent game against Newcastle, but I feel like Kobbie Mainoo. I don't know if it's lip service from Amarin, but he keeps saying that he's the future of Manchester United. I think with him changing the system, I think he sees him in that double pivot next to Casemiro, moving Bruno up when Bruno comes back. So I don't think he's gonna sell Kobbie Mainoo. I think Ugarte, if you believe the report from the summer and report from last season with Amarin telling him he's not the same player that he had at Sporting, the levels aren't the same, so he's pretty disappointed at Ugarte. So, and I get the argument that even if he feels like Ugarte is not the same player, he keeps using him over Mainoo. But I think it's just how he classifies players. He doesn't see Mainoo as a in and out, like out and out number 6. He sees him more of a 6 to 8 hybrid, helping in ball progression, where he sees Ugarte as a number 6, stopping counters and really helping the back line.
Yeah.
And
so if we let Ugarte go, we have to get another midfielder though. So who would your midfielder be?
there's like, I mean, I've been looking at Twitter reports and stuff, like different journalists coming out with, especially this Italian journalist. I keep forgetting his name, but he keeps putting out. It's not official, but it's a rumor going around in Italy that Manuel is coming in the summer to United. But I'm like, if we let Zirkzee go, why not just do a deal for both of them? They go different ways, like a swap.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair, man. What about the game tomorrow? What's your score prediction for the Wolves game? Do you think we're gonna win?
Wolves game, I think we'll win, but looking at the performances after they had after they got beaten by us, it's been tough games, very close games. So, but at home, I know our form at home isn't the best this season, but I just feel like the system, this formation, I feel like the system is still the same. The way we attack, you go wide, you just have wingers now, then wing backs. But with the back four, I feel like defenders, they know what they're doing better. I feel like in the back three, the players were having difficulty understanding their zones, or are they man marking, or are they going zone? So I feel in a back four with the 2 center backs, they understand, like, okay, I'm gonna go with this guy or this attacker in my space.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Well, Brian, thanks for your thoughts, man. I'll get the next caller in, and please do call in again.
Yeah. Okay.
Be cool. How you doing, my friend?
Hi, Andy. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm also good. So, regarding Malacia, you cannot sell a player that is unable to pass a physical. So, we can sell Malacia. Forget that. You have to forget that. Regarding Zirkzee and Mainoo, I don't think that we should sell players without buying before. We are a very, very thin on players. The squad has no depth. I would see the possibility of buying players and even not selling players. So I'm not. I don't see why should we sell Zirkzee just because we have an offer. Because if Mount isn't able to play tomorrow, I'm positive that Zirkzee probably is going to play. So,
Do you think he gives us more effort than the Newcastle game, though?
yes, the first game that Zirkzee played when he came back, he was also awful. I think Zirkzee is a player that has to keep playing in order to perform. So I believe that if he'll start from the beginning, probably on the role of Mason Mount as the connector, which will allow long play either to Sesko or to him. He can receive the ball and distribute the ball both for Dorgo and for Cunha. So I think although he's not being as good as Mount, he would probably help us win the game against Wolves. But I feel that Amorim is trying to protect Mount in order to at least have him for 45 minutes in the game against Wolves.
Yeah. So, wait, you think there's a chance Mount plays?
Yeah, I think that he's trying everything to do that. He's going to make a test, and if the risk of injury isn't very high, probably he will start and come off at halftime.
Yeah. I think Nelson is requesting you for saying something in hold on one second. He wants you to say something in Jose Mourinho style. Okay? Can you help us out?
What in Jose Mourinho's style?
I'll okay. Can you see the chat in StreamYard? I'll paste something in the chat and you can just read it, okay?
Not in StreamYard, but I have another device and I'm seeing the chat.
On YouTube? Okay. So I'm going to paste something on YouTube, but you say it, okay?
Okay.
And read that full sentence. I just put it.
So, in 7 years with 4 different managers, once we not qualify for Europe, twice out in the group phase, and the best was quarterfinal. This is football heritage.
Hey, let's go. Let's go, guys. We got the Jose Mourinho in the chat. Let's go. Thank you, Be Cool. I appreciate it, bro. Nelson, yeah. Nelson, the ball's in your court now, because he said he's gonna gift memberships if you said football heritage. And nice. We got a nice little press conference from Be Cool. I like it. Okay, so Be Cool, tell me, in terms of incomings, you said we should just get the players in and not focus on the outgoings. So who should we be buying? Oh, Nelson just gifted 5 memberships. Let's go. We got memberships for Edgar Samuel, Newsendine, Casper, ZTK.
Thank Nelson for the memberships, huh?
Yes. Please say
He's
thank you to
legend.
Nelson. Yes. Thank you, Nelson. Yeah, respect. Okay, so Be Cool. You said we need to sign players, not sell players.
Yeah.
And I understand that. So who should we sign in your opinion in January?
I think we should go all out for our targets. As simple as that. We should put the proposals in the table, and if they accept it, they accept it. If they don't, we'll wait for summer. They
Yeah.
are not going to go for Elliot Anderson or João Gomes or Conor Gallagher. Nothing of that. They have three players that they have defined they want to have in our midfield. I don't see that ever coming to fruition. I don't see it. If we get Baleba, we will be lucky, because I don't think that both Wharton and Elliot Anderson are interested in playing in Manchester United just for being Manchester United.
You're saying they might want more money and they might want to go for the right project and things like that.
Not the right project, because I don't think that Man City is the right project for Semenyo. They want to go for more money. They want to go for playing Champions League for sure.
Yeah.
And last season, what we said is that we wanted players that want to play for Manchester United.
Yes.
That's the case of Baleba. It's not the case of Wharton. It's not the case of most players. So they do it like they did it with Semenyo. They tried. They are available to make the proposal.
Yeah.
If the players don't want, forget it and pass to the next.
Yes. No, I agree. I think here's the thing, right? Be cool. I'll make an interesting point. By the way, whatever's on screen, that is courtesy of Shantyard. That's not coming from me. But Newsendine says, Nelson, you're the man, bro. Yes, 5 people got memberships. Now only if somebody can gift a membership to Nelson, guys. Because he doesn't have one himself. Anyways, yeah, appreciate you, Nelson, and that little thing on the screen with, I think, is that Nelson as a air traffic controller? I think that's what it was, and that was just a little thank you for Nelson. But be cool. I think what's interesting is in my opinion, people get very fixated on, oh, we have to get Elliot Anderson. He's going to be the next Declan Rice. He's going to be the next Rodri and this and that. The thing is, every season there's at least 2 or 3 players that come up that look like the next big thing, right? So if we don't get Elliot Anderson this season, by the end of this season or during the World Cup, at some point we might be in a position where there's another player that looks like Elliot Anderson but costs a little bit less money, right? So
I'm going to be very frank, Andy. I don't trust national teams competitions. For me, that's it has no value.
No, I agree, but I'm just giving an example, right? I'm giving an example of, let's say we have a player that's having a very good season in the Premier League, not as good as Elliot Anderson, but a good season, right? Somebody that we don't really look at as like a very, very good player, but he goes in the summer and has an excellent tournament. So already good season in the Premier League and has an excellent tournament. I think that makes us believe that, okay, this guy has something in him because he can perform under pressure and all that. That's what I'm saying. If you look at a player that only has a good tournament for his country and doesn't play well in the Premier League, that's useless, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, now the problem we have is we're looking at Elliot Anderson right now, and we think, you know what, if we don't get Elliot Anderson, there's not going to be another player like him that comes up. And I think that's not true. I think we will find another player like him.
What about James Gardner?
James Garner, he's a squad player. He's not going to be a starter for us. That's the only problem. He doesn't have anything exceptional in him. I don't know if we have a buyback clause or something. I'm not sure. But I think he would be good, not great.
Yeah, I see that. But at the moment, it's difficult to see a profile. Maybe Alex Scott.
Yeah, Alex Scott. He's good. I like that Newcastle player too, Lewis Miley. He looks
Yeah.
like a decent player. Alex Scott
But
at Bournemouth.
Miley
looks like decent.
isn't Miley a right wing?
I think he plays midfield, I believe.
At least against us, I believe that he played on the wing.
I'm just checking his transfer marked profile. He might have played it on the right wing against us, but I think he's a midfielder. Yeah, if you look at his main positions, it's all along the midfield. So central midfield, attacking midfield, defensive midfield. There's also Lamine Camara who plays for Monaco. I don't know if you've seen him at all. He's also a very good
No, I
player.
haven't seen anything from the French league
Go
this
check him
year.
out. Go watch Lamine Camara highlights. Be cool. And next time you're on the call, I want to hear your thoughts on what you think about Lamine Camara. He's a very good player. I think you will like him. For me, he reminds me a little bit of N'Golo Kante. Obviously, I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Kante because Kante is one of the greatest midfielders of all time in that position. But I think Lamine Camara is a very good player. Okay, be cool. Thanks for your thoughts, brother.
Thank you,
Andy. Yes, and thank you, everybody that got the memberships. Yes, Nelson gifted the memberships, but it's also because of the Be Cool Jose Mourinho delivery. So thank you so much.
Nelson is a legend.
Yes, he is. Okay, thank you. Be cool.
Thank you, Andy. Bye.
All right, let's get Robert in. Robert, how are we doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
What's up? Tell me.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Can you speak up a little bit? Maybe get closer to your mic.
Okay. What about now? Am I audible enough?
Yeah, let me see if I can increase your volume from my side. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So even before I start saying, yesterday I did not say my midfielder names. Let me say them. I was to say Mamadou Sangare, Jawe Cisse, is this guy.
Wait,
Matheus
Cisse?
Fernandes.
This is the first time I'm hearing Cisse. From where?
He's from the French league, Ligue 1.
Can you spell his last? Can you spell his name?
DJAOUI.
DJAOUI. Oh, Jawi Cisse. Okay. 21-year-old. He plays for Rennes.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Okay.
Oh, and Felix Mecha.
But Felix Mecha, yeah, that guy, he plays for Dortmund, right?
Yes.
Jawi Cisse. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up their FB ref number profiles. Jawi Cisse, you said, and Mecha, and who else?
Mamadou Sangare and Locatelli. But Locatelli we have discussed.
Locatelli we've discussed. Yeah, Locatelli we've discussed. Yes. Mamadou Sangare. He plays for Lens. Yeah, we've talked about this guy before too, but still, let's talk about him today. Okay, let me just share my screen and we can talk about these guys. Let's go entire screen. Okay, let's start with Jawi Cisse because I think this is the first time anybody's mentioned him on the stream. Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Tell me about Jawi Cisse. I have his FB ref open here. What do you like about him?
Like, he seems to be this kind of a good replacement for Ugarte. He and Mamadou Sangare, because of how they play, they seem to be more efficient at the moment than Ugarte, but they both still are young. So that's why I was thinking of them. Like, the way they play, there's some element of them knowing what they want to do, especially Jawi Cisse. He's got this element of wanting to try and maybe hit those passes, like progress them a little bit, like a Thomas Partey. So, like, I think he would be a good shot because also I remember that Leicester team, they signed N'Golo Kante for, is it 5.6 million? And he went on to become a very good midfielder. So I was like, yeah, these guys maybe could do a job. Because also looking at especially for Mamadou Sangare, he's somebody who would hunt the ball. His interceptions, dribblers, tackles, his numbers are elite when it comes to that department. Also for Jawi Cisse to some extent, I was like, how are these numbers popping up? So like took my time, watched them for a while. But I think Sangare like now, is he at AFCON? Not even sure. I haven't really checked him for a while.
Is he he's Malian international? Maybe he is.
I think he's at AFCON. Let me check with football.
I'm looking at his defensive numbers. Yeah, his defensive numbers are very good for Mamadou Sangare. He's got 3.67 tackles per 90, which is the highest in the league on. And he wins a lot of his tackles as well. Only Johan Lepenant is higher than him. Very good tackles in defensive and middle third, and also in the attacking third. Attacking third, he's the highest again.
Also, for Mamadou Sangare, he's very good at taking on players. You see the way Pape Matissa is good on when he decides to take on a player.
Yeah.
But now he's a bit better than Pape Matissa.
Oh, Mamadou Sangare?
Yeah, Mamadou Sangare. And also, you look at his performances, he's a player that is going to give you a guarantee 7 out of 10 in each and every single game. He doesn't have, I was like, he seems to be that reliable player. And I was like, he's a 7 out of 10 player every single game. Only for me to go check FotMob and SofaScore to find that he's actually a 7 out of 10 player each and every single game.
So what is how good is he on the ball? Because I haven't watched much of him on the ball. Because the problem is Robert right now. If Ugarte is playing in the French league, he can probably have some of these stats, right? Because
yes,
but we need somebody who can do this and also be decent on the ball.
Yeah, they are decent on the ball, technical. I don't say they have reached that. This seems to still be that bit of rawness, but I think if you're going
the passing stats that I'm looking at, right? In fact, let me do this. Let me pull up Ugarte in the French league and let's see what his defensive numbers look like.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ugarte, if we look at scouting report, 2023-2024 League on. He played 1,900 minutes, so sufficient. Look at him. He's got almost exactly the same tackle numbers as Mamadou Sangare. Because you look at Sangare's tackles this year, he's got 3.67 tackles per 90. Ugarte has 4.57. So Ugarte was actually better than him defensively.
Yeah.
Even his passing, Ugarte's passing looks much better than Mamadou Sangare. Because Mamadou Sangare has like 60th percentile and everything. Okay, Mamadou Sangare is playing for Rennes and this guy's playing for PSG, right? So it makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's even to comment. But I'm not really down with the scouting. It's just that I thought he was actually a good shout because I love the way he plays.
Yeah.
Maybe
no, for sure. I'm not saying he won't be good, but you know what it is, right? Like you know that guy Sungutu Magasa who plays for West Ham.
Yeah,
he is a player that looks really good at West Ham, but would look really bad at United. And
but he will.
I'm worried about looking at Sangare and thinking maybe he's going to be really good at a West Ham and really bad at United. You know what I'm trying to say? Just like Ugarte. Because he's good defensively, but on the ball, he struggles.
Oh, yeah. I've seen him, but I'll come back to you guys when I've had more information or...
Yeah, no, I'll check him out as well. You've brought him up a couple of times. A few other people have brought him up as well. So I'll definitely look him up. And then Felix and Mecha, let's talk about this guy.
Talk about who?
Felix and Mecha.
Oh yeah, Felix Mecha. He's actually a good one. I think he's of the ones I've mentioned. He's the one who is more mature in how he plays. I think everybody knows of Felix Nmecha. He's more of, you see the way Goretzka is very well-rounded. I think I'd say Nmecha is close to that, but not fully.
Yeah. No, I agree. He's a little bit better on the ball. He's also tall, right?
Yeah, he's tall. He's like 6'2", 6'3", I think.
He's 6'1" according to this, but yeah, he would be pretty good. I think his brother already plays in the Premier League, right?
Yeah, his brother is at Leeds. He's a striker.
Yeah.
But his brother is his brother English and Mecha German, like the Boateng brothers. Play for different
They're both
countries.
born in they're both Germans. I think they're both born in England though.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, this guy's born in
Actually,
Hamburg. Never mind. His Felix is born in England.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
like-
Robert, I'm hearing some feedback on your side. So maybe you need to figure out how to use your speaker and your mic together, because whenever I speak, I hear myself back from your side. But I think this is Robert, I think more than your camera, you need to figure out if you can get a better mic somehow. Because that would be amazing. Like, lots of people want to hear from you, but if your mic is if it's hard to hear you, or we're hearing feedback from your side, then it's going to be a problem, right? But great shouts. Thank you for joining.
Okay.
All right, that's Robert, guys. Folks, the show is open for the panel. If the panel wants to join, I know Nelson said that he's going to be busy, he won't be able to join. But if anybody else wants to come on, like Ed or any of the other regular panelists, please come on and we can have a chat. Son is the second best Bundesliga prospect in my opinion. I think Son was good. Firmino, you could say, was decent coming from the Bundesliga. De Bruyne came from the Bundesliga. I know he was in the Premier League before, but De Bruyne came from the Bundesliga. You could argue Cunha is Bundesliga, more Bundesliga than La Liga, even though he came from the La Liga when he came to the Premier League. So there are a few players that work, but I think it's more the exception, not the rule. Liga and hate should be higher. Ed, I'm not so sure. I think Liga is a different profile of league. I think the reason why Bundesliga doesn't get the credit that it should maybe get, in your opinion, is because there's a lot of a lot of space in the Bundesliga that you get. You get an extra half second or a second. There's the physicality isn't really there. And when you watch Bayern, right? Bayern, when they play against English teams, they struggle. Every other league, the top teams, when they come and play against English teams, they struggle with the physicality. So I think that's why Bundesliga gets a little bit of the hate, because I think we would love to have the Bundesliga players do well, but the recent players that have come in have kind of made it difficult to rate the Bundesliga accurately, and that's the only concern. Because you see how easy Bayern has it, even Dortmund, right? Dortmund, like, yes, you can say they got to the Champions League final and all that, but Europe is a very different game. Like, for God's sake, Florian Wirtz has struggled after coming from the Bundesliga, and even he scored his first goal in Champions League, not in the Premier League. I think that's why Bundesliga gets a little bit of the hate. But yeah, I mean, if you want to come talk about that, we can talk about it. Be cool to get your thoughts on it. What am I looking at here? Am I still okay? Darwin Penafiel says League On is great prospect farm league since it's the closest in terms of pace of play to EPL. I think it's not really the pace of play; it's more the physicality. The pace is still a little bit lower, but he still made the most chances in the league. Has he? Let me see. Chances created, Premier League. Florian Wirtz has the 8th most chances created in the league. And he is 21 behind Bruno Fernandes. Ekitike has adapted well, yes. But again, we need to see after a full season what that looks like. And by the way, Shant, just FYI, Ahmad has created 28 chances in the league, and Florian Wirtz has 2 more than him. I think the point is, for being the greatest German prospect to come out of the Bundesliga, you'd expect a little bit more from Florian Wirtz. I'm not saying he should be at Bruno's level, because Bruno is just world class. But Ed's here. Okay, let's talk to Ed. Let's get Ed on. Let's get Be Cool on, and we'll get Ash on as well. Go on, Ed. The floor is yours, man. Let's go defend the Bundesliga hatred in the chat.
I think the Florian Wirtz situation is not really fair. It is his first season, and it's such a high price tag. Any player that would have came in with that sort of price tag would have been the same thing. I think that is a very, very poor side in how they're playing, not personnel wise, but how they're playing. And I think it comes a lot down to the manager. I don't think he's given the chance to thrive yet, but he is going to be the talisman of that team, and he's going to be a problem for a lot of teams going forward. He does need to, like everybody says, you got to give these kids like a season, at least one season. And I think a lot of the because you could go both ways, right? There's been a lot of flops that came in from the Bundesliga, but I think Bundesliga players are really, really technical. What we're looking for, like even if we brought in Stiller, right? Stiller would need a whole season, just like Sesko is going to need a whole season. You're absolutely right about the space.
I agree with you. I think so. That's a fair point, right? Because we can't just criticize the Bundesliga. We got to talk about the pros as well. It's not just all cons. The technical floor is very high for the Bundesliga. And this is not talked about enough, but Bundesliga players speak very good English. So I think transitioning to the Premier League also helps them a lot in terms of learning what the coach is trying to say, adapting to the environment, right? So those things do help you. But like you were going to say, with the pace being very high, but the space also being available, that's something that they really struggle with adapting to. So with Wirtz, my point isn't that, signed, sealed, and delivered, he's crap, he's never going to be good. It's more that he's struggling. I don't even care about the goals and assists. That's just a meme to shit on Liverpool, right? But it's more to do with him looking a little worried going into games, right? He looks like deer in headlights sometimes. And I think that's something that the Bundesliga players have to deal with. And let's talk about a player that we do have an opinion on, which is Werner. Timo Werner, I thought was going to be amazing in the Premier League, but he really disappointed. So I think those are the examples.
He played too much Fortnite. I think when he came in, he was trying to do stuff, and he's been trying to do stuff. He just wouldn't translate very well just because of it, the strength aspect of it. He's in with a lot of like through balls and things like that. You know what I mean? And they weren't playing to those strengths even at Chelsea. But there is, I mean, any player that comes into the Premier League, like we could look at Nicolas Pepe, right? Then we can look at what Girona's doing, taking ex-Prem players, and they're killing it. Anthony, look at Anthony. He didn't do shit for us. He goes over there and he's scoring worldies every game. So the Premier League tax on the body is huge, is what people aren't understanding, I think, in this situation. And the ones that do adapt are the ones that play well in systems like Pep's system. And I think Arne Slot is going to lose a job by the end of the year. I think they're going to bring in somebody else that's probably going to make that team play a lot better. Like Frimpong hasn't been playing at all. He comes in that last game and he gets an assist and he plays really, really well. But Arne Slot didn't want to play him. So I think there's a lot of players that deserve a chance, and you can't base them off half a season if they're not used to it. That's like you going to a new job, right? That you were doing the same thing. You're doing the same job you're doing at your old company, but with totally different systems, right? Let's say you're an accountant and you went from using QuickBooks to some in-house system now where everything is different. You got to click at different places. It's the same thing for the footballers. They're coming into this system. He's still showing his individual brilliance game in, game out, but he just has not adapted to the physicality and the speed of the game. And I think that's where we need to give grace to these younger players, even though they're not on United, but that are coming in from these other leagues. You know,
No, I agree with you. Listen, for me, it's more of the banter with Liverpool. So I try not to give them too much credit for their players, but I just look at it and I say, if you look at, surprisingly, right, this is something that doesn't make too much sense to me, but the Portuguese league seems to produce a lot of players that slot in right away to the Premier League, right? Even someone like a Lindelof, like, I know we've had mixed opinions of him at times, but he's been a good Premier League like quality player, right? He hasn't been good enough for United and our ambitions, but in terms of fitting in here, then you look at your Ruben Diaz, um, and so many other players, even the French league, right? Like Eden Hazard, N'Golo Kante. There are these players that come from the French league that seem to adapt to the physicality a lot better. So I think it's that physicality thing, and I don't think it's a constant, right? Because when we beat Bayern Munich in '99, I think that Bayern team had crazy physical players like Lothar Matthäus. Didn't Edgar Davids, he played for Bayern as well. So there's a lot of players that they used to have a much more physical league, and it's gone a little bit away from that. So there's pros and cons for sure, but they particularly seem to struggle with the physicality. Ash, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Is my audio okay? I remember last time it was a bit loud.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay. No, I agree with what you were saying, Andy. I think with the German league, because of the level of technicality and the amount of, let's say, tactical play that goes into it, I guess the players kind of lose the physical attribute point of it a bit. Like, whereas with the, in my opinion, I guess with the Portuguese and the French leagues, it's more because there is still that physical aspect. Maybe they are just better when they come over to the English side. And so you see them slot in right away. And once you allow that gap to be closed, as Ed was saying, for the players from the Bundesliga, you see that they start to perform to what we know of them from the Bundesliga. So I think, yeah, it comes down, in the end, it comes down to time. And as we probably know as Man United fans, the British media, or let's say the British football media, is generally more focused on headlines and, sensationalizing really players just adjusting to some time. And yeah, to discuss the specific case of Words, I guess the price tag doesn't help at all. But then to be fair, I don't think they're playing any good football either, because Alexander Isak, who's a proven talent at Newcastle, is also struggling in that system. So in the end, yeah, I think it just comes down to time. As long as you give them time and you have the patience to wait for them to find their feet, I guess it's fine.
You know what? What's interesting is we can't just. I think it's certain types of players, right? It's more the attacking players that seem to struggle, because we did get Konate coming in from the Bundesliga, and he's been good for Liverpool other than this season. I think the defensive players have been okay. Like when I look at Jonathan Tah as well, if he went to the Premier League, like I think he would be solid. I don't think there'd be any questions over that.
I don't even like him for Bayern.
No, that's true, but his physicality is good, right?
His physicality is good, but he reads the game very poorly. I mean, if you want to, somebody said in the chat, Antoine Stach, that's probably one of the best ones midfielders
Antoine
that
Stach,
came
yeah.
out of the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Felix Lemaitre would not do as well. I don't think we should sign him. That's going. It's like a 50-50, right? But I'm leaning more towards like 60-40 on the bad end. I don't think he's gonna fit quite well. But as you guys were saying, you need to give the players time. You can't expect results instantly, apart from like, world class talent like Ekatike, right?
Yeah.
Ekatike has shown he's way better than somebody that scored 14 goals for Newcastle. And it comes down to the coach. If Salah was scoring goals this season and Wirtz was playing him in every time and getting those assists, it'd be a totally different story. But he's not.
Yeah.
And the best Premier League player right now, Haaland, he came from the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
So we can't really compare apples to oranges at this point. I think we have to compare quality and physicality more than where they came from.
No, I agree, but there is a trend. Like I think you would concede that there is a trend of the physicality being an issue for Bundesliga players, and it's one of those things that stands out a bit more than other players. Because you even look at Xavi Simons, right? Like when he went to Spurs, I was like, damn, like he could actually be a good player, but he's looked like, I don't want to say bang average, but like close to that. For Spurs. And again, a bad team, bad manager, like all those things are true. But from an
Xavi
individual
Simons is a
performance level,
TikTok footballer, though.
I hear you, but still, like what he looked like at RB Leipzig, even Christopher Nkunku, bro, like he was like team of the season like 3 seasons running, and then couldn't do anything for Chelsea other than blow the
Injury
balloon.
worries, injury problems as well with him, and he's also not
Yeah.
really one of those physical type of players. Because we could argue that the Italian league is really physical, and then you have guys like Pulisic thriving.
Italian league is
The
different.
Italian
though.
league physical.
It's very slow.
Yeah.
It's
But it's
very
still
slow for the
physical.
faster players, and also Italian league has the. I would argue their best teams in the Italian league also have the highest average age compared to any of the other leagues,
Yeah,
because
we got
a lot of
Academy
the
playing
older
still.
players go play there. Be cool. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
I was flabbergasted by that. Italian league is a physical league. So, aside from that, I think that if Wirtz was in Man United, you couldn't. Every day we'd be talking about Wirtz. You pay more than £100 million for a player, and he doesn't do anything. If you pay that kind of price, the player has to perform. If
That's
you
what we're
want
talking about the price
to,
tag, though. If you don't, what if they got him for 50 million? What would you say?
then you would have a different expectation
Exactly. So is it his fault? that he
regarding
paid
his
that much?
quality.
But to be fair, but to be fair, Ed, you're not going to get a world class player for 50 million, right? So you're not going to have world class expectations from the 50 million player.
You are paying like it was the best thing that was going to happen in the Premier League.
Yeah, well, look at Isaac too. We could say the same thing about Isaac.
And we do, right? I mean, Isaac, to be fair, to pay that much money for a player that I don't think he's ever played 90 minutes for Newcastle. Like that guy was already like breadstick, hamstrings, whatever. What's that guy? Specs Gonzalez, right? They spent like 100 and whatever million on Specs Gonzalez. So I agree. Like, in my opinion, I think Liverpool's recruitment has been bad. I'll go a step further, Ed. I think if Wirtz goes to Bayern Munich, or if he goes to even Real Madrid, Barcelona, a lot of the top teams on the continent, he looks like he's worth 120 million. The problem is, in the Premier League, he's looking like a 70 million player, and that's how it is, right? Like one man's.
It's not only the Premier League; it's the environment that the players are in. In Liverpool, they bought so many players, and they are passing a bad moment that the player has to perform, or he's going to be on the bench. If you are making, I'm going to say a hot take. If Gyökeres was bought by Man United, he would have 10 goals at the moment. He'll never have that performance in Arsenal because Arsenal is not the right fit for Gyökeres. Because he was dumb. Like Semenyo. Semenyo is going to play 10. If he goes to City, he's going to play 10 games. Not more than that.
Not have 10 goals at United.
Gyökeres is not that good.
No, I think his point is that the way the system would function would suit him a bit more. Maybe not 10 goals, but he would do better than he's doing at Arsenal.
I mean, Wirtz would do better than what Mount is doing.
And is not a good fit for the system that Arteta has. He'll never be. He's not that kind of player. They play in a different system. He has different routines. He was chosen in Sporting by Amorim after one thing that Man City did good, it was to hire Hugo Viana as a sporting director, because he's very good at seeing the traits that the players, the managers want. And that was what was happening with the Sporting's recruitment. He said, "I want." They defined the profile, and Hugo Viana would get 2-3 players that would match the profile, and they would go for the first or the second or the third. And
Yeah,
But
but
also,
I think. Yeah,
if-
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
if Gyökeres played in the United States, he has no link up play. He can't link up play. He's a run fast and shoot type of merchant. He has no technical ability.
imagine Bruno putting the balls upwards for him to run.
Yeah, but
And
the
when do
difference
we do
is
that?
it's
When
not
do we do that?
translated. Be cool. It's not translated well. There is a significant speed gap and physicality gap between Portugal and Premier League. I think the players that were okay, I wouldn't say
I'm not
Gyökeres' acceleration or top speed are translatable in terms of how well he is compared to the defenders from Portugal to the Premier League. It's not seen that. So then he's had to rely on other parts of his play, which are clearly leagues below, which is his back to the goal, his technical ability on the ball. He's really a channel runner. I mean, we would probably see similar of what we saw with Højlund if we had gotten Gyökeres.
Actually, can I give you a better comparison, Sean? I think his profile reminds me more of Lukaku, right?
Yeah.
Because Lukaku was actually better at running with the ball or running into space than he was.
That's a
with back
disservice to
goal.
Lukaku, though. I think.
No, but I'm
yeah.
saying in profile wise, right? Like if we're looking at it, because Højlund is like what wasn't really developed as a player at all. He had 18 games with Atlanta, and we purchased him straight into the Premier League.
But right now in Serie A, he's doing well because he's getting that service that we deprived and we had zero confidence in because of that short leash.
They're also playing. They're also playing a lot more to his abilities instead of trying to have a 3-4-3 work.
We're saying
right?
the same thing. 100%,
yeah. So I think with Gyökeres, the reason why I would agree to an extent with what Be Cool is saying. I don't think 10 goals is fair because then you're technically taking some goals away from Mbeumo and Cunha. I think he would have had more goals than Šeško, well, assuming he stays fit, because I think Amorim would utilize him in a different way as well. Right? Cunha is doing a lot of the dropping into the pockets and all that, and we could play maybe more of a 3-4-1-2 where Cunha actually sits in the pocket and we have both Mbeumo and Gyökeres running the channels. Like there could be things that Amorim could have done that would have been.
Do you not think there would be more dysfunction because of the preferential main point of attack that both Cunha and Mbeumo seem to have been taken on in this setup, so that you're actually underrating what Šeško provides in that link-up play? We spoke about it with Zirkzee. He kind of gives that same level.
I'm not saying Gyökeres would have been a better fit than Šeško. That's not what I'm saying. My point is, my point is that it would have been different. And Gyökeres knows more about his game right now than Šeško necessarily does, purely because of the 5-year age gap, right? 5 years in football is like half your career, essentially.
Yeah.
So I think from that perspective, I think we made the right decision by going for Šeško because he has more higher ceiling, but Gyökeres would be more for here and now. And I think the other part of Be Cool's point that we're not really discussing is that Arteta's not getting the best out of Gyökeres, actually. Right, because there's none of his traits. He wants to be someone who.
I think Arteta doesn't know how to use a striker. I just think he doesn't know exactly how to do that. He still
Arteta learned from Pep when they didn't have a striker.
Yeah.
And he's playing the old Pep style still, and he doesn't know how to incorporate a striker. Plain and simple.
No.
He's also too risk averse, man. He would rather have his striker do a bit more of the defending than have. That's why he wants to play Havertz. Even after spending 70 on Gyökeres, he's like, "Where's Havertz? I want Havertz to come back." And that's what Jamie Carragher said.
Fans want the Havertz to come back.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So crazy.
But anyways, we weren't here to talk about Wirtz.
Yeah.
I think our point is like, listen, we got the show's coming to a close because I want to be disciplined. Discipline is the word. And I want to hear from you guys if there are some shouts of midfielders that we can actually go get in January, because I think we can all agree that if Zirkzee leaves, we're not getting another striker.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think a striker squad player is coming into the team. So
Wh-
if he leaves, who comes in and who's reasonable? Is it a loan playing? Give me names. I want to hear names.
I'm just gonna be. It's gonna sound really, really like monotonous and repetitive, but it's gonna be Baleba. We're going to make an attempt for Baleba. You're gonna get any type of obligation money that's going. Let's say if it's 30, 40 million, that's gonna go towards the instant Baleba. Like we're just gonna count that from accounting terms. What I saw him demonstrate against Ivory Coast is a clear sign that he's been mailing it in at Brighton. His head's turned. It's going to take some push from the player. I think he was a little bit too coy about it at the end of the summer transfer window. I think now all parties are realizing that's the only way to get rid of that asset. Anybody else we're discussing, it's going to be a James Garner. It's going to be somebody that's really on the edge and fringes of the squad. It's not going to be Ruben Neves. That's an agent talk. And it's
John,
not going to be...
Can I just give you an interesting question with Baleba?
Yep.
Who else is really in for Baleba right now other than us?
So that makes it a clear run.
No, but we're in this business of giving top dollar for someone that nobody else wants. And that's my concern, because when Sancho came to us, there wasn't a clear other team that was in for him. When
I think Baleba's done a good job of quiet quitting, though. So I got to give him like absolute credit. Like he made me believe that there was nothing left in that tank. And then I see him on the international scale. I said, oh my gosh, it looks like how I'm playing when I've got my whole team on Ultimate Team with like, my whole team's playing well, and I'm playing against.
Oh, you got team of the year in your Ultimate
team of the year. Baleba is playing for Cameroon. That guy, I was way too quick to say he's not done. He's got a skill set. We need to get Nelson on here. I got to see him for that 10 o'clock show, man. I got to speak to his agent because we got to get some things going.
Also,
that guy can still do a job.
Manu Kone right now playing a blinder for Roma.
Really?
Yep.
Against Genoa though, so
it don't matter.
Yeah, I know. Ain't no problem. It ain't no problem.
We haven't seen. Oh wait, the 3-0 up in the 34th minute. Come on, man.
Listen, okay, but he's playing against a 3-man midfield in a 2-man. Yeah. It's 2v3.
Yeah. No, I hear you, because to be fair, Baleba's not even been doing that against the 17th
guys, no meme. You know who played a blinder against Manu Kone earlier this year?
Who?
Henrik Jan Mkhitaryan. He bossed that pitch when it was Inter versus Roma. It was nuts.
Bro, I gave you 2 hats. You've worn one of them once.
It doesn't see. I already wore the black one. It doesn't go with the black shirt. So I gotta wait until I gotta be color matched. Remember, Rishi said I care about my appearance too much. Come on.
And I'm there with Shant. I think it's just going to be
Rishi
Baleba.
cares about your appearance more than you care about your appearance.
He actually does.
And I think I agree with Shant. It's just going to be Baleba in January. Hopefully, if not Baleba, then it won't be anybody.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think we could get a squad player, guys. I think we're sleeping on the squad player. I think there could be somebody a little bit out of the blue in terms of like a Buadi or something.
But that's not squad player money. That's going to be 40, 50 million. I thought he had a release clause. I looked into it. He's going to be a lot of money for an 18-year-old, and he's probably going to be on the same as Lenny Euro. And you got to ask yourself, is that really worth it?
It's 14 million euros.
Huh?
Sorry, what'd you say, Be Cool?
A squad player nowadays for United, it's 40 million euros.
I was going to say he'd be 40, 50 million pounds, and he's also 18. So you're really paying for that, verticality and upside. And I think he has the potential. But is that going to be a game changer? Are you going to trust somebody that young to go and integrate into a top 4 race right now?
I think be cool. The question isn't whether Buadi's worth the money, is whether that money is well spent right now for what we need. Right? Because the 40, 50 million, you could argue somebody like Manu Kone even would be more ready than a Buadi is ready. That's the only point. And dude, I'm looking at Manu Kone right here. I'm liking some of his aggressiveness, especially in the final third.
Okay. He looks like he's from a different league, like the way he plays. So that's why I'm saying Genoa is kind of like not the best representation right now.
But the profile, right? Okay, maybe he wins half.
He's Hullet gang, man. He's Hullet gang. I'm with it. We just got to make sure he comes in as an inform, not as a
Somebody's
know.
wondering what your if your firstborn is gonna be named Henrik.
Probably not. A little too ethnic for me. I think every time I roll around saying it's Shant, and people are like, "What? How do you spell that?" Just like, all
Oh
right,
yeah,
whatever.
Sean T Fitness baby.
Oh
Guys, look it up.
God, no! Demonetize immediately, guys.
Look
Do
it up,
not
guys.
look that
Look
up.
it up.
Do not look that up. Do not.
I'm not putting it on my screen. They can look it up.
But you're
their
putting
own
it in their minds, which is worse.
Well, you put it in my mind when I was like, Sean T, what does that mean?
You should have seen.
You're not
You should have
telling
seen the
me.
picture I gave. I said,
Manu
"Go
Kone just
score."
scored. Manu
Oh my
Kone just
God.
scored.
Well, there goes a
Price
signing
just went
bonus
up
right
to
there.
70 million, guys.
Oh God.
You know, if it was still Woodward and the Chuckle Brothers managing us,
Murtaugh would already be putting 20 million on the price tag.
Ballon d'Or clause in Manu Kone's contract.
Oh my God.
Freaking idiots.
Yeah. No, I think it's gonna be Baleba or bust, guys. I don't know about you. I think based on everything we've also heard from Amram in the presser, he said we're gonna go for our long-term targets. So if that means accelerating that timetable and doing it in January, great. But I don't think we're going to see a lot of these like.
Are there any
desperation moves.
players that we saw Amram showing a favor towards after certain games this year? Did he speak
This
to
year?
Njai?
He mentioned him in the presser. He's mentioned Anderson in the presser. He's mentioned Semenyo, obviously. I'm trying to remember if you guys. Does anyone else remember?
Is very high on our list. The problem, I saw some reports about Liverpool. I haven't been impressed with Diomande in AFCON. That's the problem. For Ivory Coast, he kind of looks like he needs a season or two more of developing his game, and I don't want to risk any of that with us. And plus, he's gonna go for top dollar, like Leipzig are looking at him.
Everyone is looking at 70-80 for him. I think that's rating
40,
him
40
That's what I'm saying. He's the 40 of what I would pay, but I understand why they do the premium. That's their model. So,
yeah.
But he's a player. I do rate him. I need to see more.
Sean, since we're talking about Baleba, let's go around the table and get a price on him. I'll come to you last. Ash, give us a price for Baleba that you think we can get him for, and what do you think is acceptable as a good price for us?
Look, guys, I'm really terrible with these kind of questions. So
that's for us to decide.
Well, throw it up. You gotta put a number out there.
If it's a squad player, I'm thinking 40-50. But again,
for Baleba,
yeah,
you're not getting Baleba for that.
No, he's gonna start. If Baleba comes in, he may not start right now over Casemiro, but I think he's like very much first name off the bench.
Yeah, like I said, I'm terrible at these questions.
Okay, so we got 40-50 on the board.
I think we're gonna do 40 up front and then 2 installments of 30. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Huh?
100?
So that's 100?
100. Yep.
No.
No, come on, man.
No.
I think
I'm sorry. Did you think we were talking about Al Nasser?
Listen, that's all I'm saying. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't,
no.
So be it.
Okay.
Okay, so we have two ranges. We have the 40-50.
Have to run for his money.
We got the 40-50. Yeah. And then we got the 100 in installments and Ballon d'Or clause and everything, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Be cool?
Be cool.
So I think that they'll ask at least 75 million pounds. I think we'll start with our normal 60 million offer. And will be until the 31st of January or the 1st of February, and then we'll do it in the summer. Because no one else will get it. I don't think that Baleba is going to start playing exceptionally well. He's going to be better than he was maybe in the first half of the season, but he's not going to set the world on fire. And we'll do the deal for 70 or 75 million in the summer.
Okay.
And Mr. Sean T Fitness.
Okay, please. We're gonna have to talk about that. I believe that I think everything that the Brighton head of management has been saying is that 74 is the internal number that they're going to settle for with Baleba. I think it's all about going to be about
Is that
structure.
before add-ons or with add-ons?
I think that was with add-ons. They said internally they believe 74
Pounds?
is the number. Yes, 74 pounds. So I think it's not going to be a question of whether or not we're going to get to that number. It's going to be how cheap are United going to be with getting to that number? Are they going to try to say spread it out over 4 years, do a 20 million up front? They're going to say, hell no, we need to get, someone in soon. So I think we're probably going to
talk to your players.
Yeah,
You know, that's worth 10 million at least.
Hand on the back of the neck, being like, come on, this is, heritage. I think we'll probably see something like maybe like what Ed was saying, something like a 30, 40 million up front. Final price might rise up to 80 million, just so that we can kind of appropriate for the fact that we go for it in the January window. And I think that'd be great. I think that'd be worth it. I think based on what I've seen, he's got more application to put in. But we also have to remember, guys,
we're dealing with Brighton.
We're dealing with Brighton 1, but then 2, I don't think he's going to be playing in that Bruno role because obviously we'd be integrating him in the same season. So he'd be more of a Casemiro replacement at the time.
Off the bench too. Not straight away starting. Yeah,
exactly. So we're just gonna have to temper ourselves with regards to how much impact he's going to have, but he is definitely going to raise the floor and something to look forward to for the rest of the season.
Guys, I'm telling you, we went in. What did United go in with in the summer? It was 70.
70 plus 10.
It was 70. Or 70 was the number I heard. I forget what the structure is. At that time, Brighton were like, don't even talk to us if it's under 100, right? I think Baleba has reduced that Brighton range from 100 to probably 70. And now that United know that 70 can get it done, we'll go in with a 60. But I think the phone call to Brighton off the record is going to be, we're not going to give you a cent more than 70, right? Yeah. 70 is the amount we're going to give you. Whatever the structure is, whatever, we'll make it favorable for you. Pay it over 3 years instead of 5. 70 is the price we're going to pay. I think it's going to be 60 plus 10 in add-ons, and they'll make it like reasonable add-ons to work. Because I actually think paying anything more than 70 may even cause mutiny within the fan base because of how much he stunk up the gaff this season, right? And it doesn't matter because we know this, that Vivell, Wilcox, they don't look at these players based on a 6-month window. They've done their scouting over an extended period of time. They've looked at his time in France as well. And based on all of that, this period is just going to get us the discount, not take us away from what we think his ceiling is or how good he can be. Plus, we're missing the factor of Amram is a way better coach than Herzler is. Nobody's talking about that. He has shown it. He's shown it in terms of improving.
And also
players.
Glasner and also Iraola, all those guys that were purported to be taking over the helm. Look at where those clubs are on the table right now. You're so
and we talk about players being able to adapt to the pressure of the United shirt. Tell me a coach that's adapted to the amount of shit he's gotten better than Amram. Like pound for pound, this guy doesn't have like a Champions League in his history like Mourinho did. He's not a big profile like Van Gaal. Okay, Moyes, I don't want to compare him to Moyes, but Ollie was a legend of the club. Every one of these managers have had a lot of shit, but nobody has pound for pound gotten more shit than Amram. And he's still thriving. He's still smiling in the press conferences. So Herzler, Iraola, all of these guys, will they be able to take the pressure the same way? That's something that nobody accounts for. So Amram's already here. I back him to improve Baleba if we get him, right? I think this season from Baleba is just a way for us to get a discount. We should be happy with that and just move on.
We should be thanking him.
Yeah. 70 million is the price. We don't pay anything more than 70 million. If it's going to be like 75 because of freaking Ballon d'Or add-ons, fine. Like I'm sure all of us will be happy to contribute a tenner if he wins the Ballon d'Or as well, right? Because we want that to happen. So I think that's going to be the deal. And I agree with you guys. I think United love to marinate deals for like 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? And like 48-hour long smoked meat or whatever that is. I'm vegetarian, so I don't know if I'm even saying the right thing, but that's how they like to do their deals. And we've marinated the Baleba deal for a long, long time. So I think that makes sense to me. And I think he's done us a favor by being shit this season. So I think Baleba is a really good shout. All right, guys, that's it for us. We'll be live again in less than an hour and a half. It's going to be a members only live today, where we talk about 5 left wing back options for Amram. I've done all the stats research. It's going to be a very interesting one. We've got 3 Germans, a Belgian, and a Frenchman. Okay, and a bonus from well, you'll find out when you see the video. So thank you to Nelson again for gifting memberships. Maybe someone can gift him a membership because he doesn't have one either. But we'll see Nelson at 10 p.m. today, and Shant will be back because he wants to talk to him about Baleba as well. And maybe that'll be the conversation. Let's see some news breaks or something. We'll decide what the topic is. But thank you guys so much, Ed. Appreciate your thoughts today, Shant. Be cool, Ash. Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.